Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Akram and you're watching Knowledge 360. In current video, we'll see how to create a proper trigger function for your audit purpose, for your personal project, or it can be for your company or organization where you're working. For creating a proper trigger function, we need to mention some steps, we need to mention some proper messages. So all those things we are going to do in this video. In the last video, if you remember, we had created one trigger and also trigger function. It was sample one just to build the foundation of trigger functions because it involves many steps that you need to perform. It's not like Oracle that you create a table and you just build a trigger over there. It's not like that. It goes stepwise, so you need to follow that steps only. And there are few new things because most of the programmers comes from Oracle background or other relational database management background, so for them this is something new and something different than those database systems. So all those things I had already discussed in the previous video. I'm giving the link over here. In this video you can go and watch that video first if you want to learn the basics, very basics and stepwise explanation of how I created tables and how I created the trigger on that table students, and how I'm creating a trigger function over here to get execute. So all those things are there already and I'm not repeating that again, but I'll just give a reminder here that in the last video, if you remember, towards the end I had told that there's an error in the sample trigger function itself, and I had told that I'll be explaining why that error persists. Okay, so first let's see the answer to that, and we'll then proceed to modify this existing trigger to make it a proper audit trigger. Okay, so my suggestion would be, if you have missed that previous trigger video, please go and watch that one. You can watch it in fast and forward mode, but do watch. It will be very helpful. So now let's start the video. For this one, let's find out the create script for everything that we had. This is the trigger function, this is the trigger. It will come along with the table create script. Okay, here it is. So this is my table. Let me show you the other table as well. I had two tables created, one student logs table as well. Let me get the script for that also. So these are three things that I had created. So the steps are like, first I created one table called students table. I have three columns here: role, name and course. Okay, and then I had created one trigger that was mentioned before delete or update. Remember this thing, this is mentioned before delete or update. And this suggests what there is if anything is going to update or delete or update on the table student, so this trigger should fire, and this trigger will call this function to gets executed. So this is a trigger function. This you can say that execute function, these things are there, but it is a trigger function. If you remember, in Oracle we have triggers as separate object, and but in Postgres we do have triggers as other object of the database, but we need a trigger function to call that. Okay, so I have written one trigger function here. So let's see another table here, that is the students log. And if I go to trigger function script here, you will see that what I'm doing in that trigger function. If you see in this trigger, I'm calling the trigger function. So this is the trigger function I'm calling, and in this what I'm doing, I'm inserting the records into the student log table. That's it. This is everything what till now we have seen. Okay, so now let me show you the data and what's the error and why I need to rectify that. Okay, so let me show you first. Select star from students. Okay, so in the students table we have one records, this is like this, roll number one, name and course. Okay, and similarly let's check student logs table. In students log table we do have data. Let me clear it for now. So the logs table is cleared now, there is nothing, and we have main table like this. Okay, so in the last video we have seen that whenever I perform any update operation, it works fine, the trigger works fine. Okay, let me show you again. Set I was updating course, so let me uh, tell you MCA 2018 19. Okay, so I want to update the value course like this. So as per our trigger definition, we should have one record into the students logs table with the existing data. Okay, so let's update this one. Okay, so update is performed. Let's first check the database table that yes, the data is updated in the main table, and let's check if that change is captured in the logs table or not. So yes, it is captured in the logs table. So now let's modify this to make another changes. So now what I did, I'm modifying it to like this. So now logs table will capture the old value again, means the current value. So again check the logs table. So the update uh, is working fine. So as per our trigger rule, if you see, it should get fired before a delete or update. So as of now we have seen it is getting executed perfectly as expected in case of update operation. Okay, so same thing should happen at during the delete scenario, but it was not working like that. So let me show you that. This was one where, let me give one message here so that you can understand. So I'm trying to, so my bad. Okay, there is nothing to do. I'm trying to delete the students table. Okay, uh, what happens, the logs will get captured but the record won't be deleted from the main table. Okay, so this was the problem. Okay, I have performed delete. If you see here it says that delete 0 means 0 records are deleted, but if you see the logs will be kept. Sorry, um, let me show you again. I have one record here, the record is not deleted as we have seen, but let me try to delete. Okay, the table is I tried to delete but it is not deleted. Let's check the logs table. Okay, the record is not deleted, but let's check the logs table. But we get the data in the logs table. Okay, so the record is not deleted, but we are getting the data in the logs table. For example, let's reverse it, like make it as it is like before. Okay, we performed update operation. Now if we see, there must be record in the logs table with the old values. Okay, if we again update it, it will again get fired and we'll get the data over there. Okay, so now in case of delete it should work like that. Okay, I'm trying to delete, but there is no record deleted from students table, but in the logs table if we see, there are logs getting captured. Okay, so there is something missing or something like conflicting in the definition. So what was that I found the trigger that we are trying to perform is it is before delete or update. Okay, this thing it involves in the error because whenever we are trying to execute the trigger before delete, okay, before update it works fine, there is no issue. But whenever we are trying to perform execute the trigger before delete, so what happens in this trigger function, if you see, we are returning the return new. Okay, we are returning the new values. We can capture the old value, what was the old value, whatever the old value was, we can capture here. We can also use the new value, but see, whenever we are trying to delete, there is nothing new. Okay, but there is old values remaining. Okay, in case of update there is concept of new and old, but in case of delete we don't need a new and old value because we are going to delete the entire record. We are not updating anything in the database table like in the records. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to change this definition to after delete or update. Okay, so I have changed it. So before that we need to drop the trigger first. Okay, the trigger is dropped, and now we'll create the trigger again. Okay, the trigger is now created, but it is after delete or update. So now let's go back to our test case. Now let me clear all the logs from here. Okay, all the logs table is cleared now. Okay, there's nothing in the logs table, and in the main table we have data like this. So let me go through again the update statements 18, 19. Let's see if the update thing is working or not. Okay, I have updated the record. Now I should have record captured in the logs table. Okay, we do have one record captured. Let me again update the same thing, and we should get a record with old values in the logs table. Okay, we are getting that. Now I'll try to delete the record from the main table, and it should get captured in the logs table. Okay, now if you see from the message itself, the record is deleted, and if you remember in the earlier attempt it was saying that delete 0 means records were not deleting, and again we can confirm the same from here. So okay, now the main table is cleared, and only thing is that we will have data in the logs table. Okay, so this was the error from the previous video, and this also shows that how audit trigger can work, but this is not the perfect example of audit trigger. Okay, so now what's our duty is we want to modify it to make it into a perfect audit trigger. Okay, so we'll definitely are going to use these things we are not going to modify these things. Okay, I'm closing this tab. We are changing nothing here. Okay, done. Now we have students logs table. Yes, here we are going to add one more column. Suppose say actions. What means in as of now what we were trying to capture that if records are deleted or not, what was the old name, what was the old course. So these things we were capturing, but now since we are making a proper audit trigger, so we'll capture the actions, like upon which actions it is getting performed. Okay, so let me give the column like say 50. We have no issues with the size. Okay, now we need to drop the table, it's logs table. Okay, the table is deleted. Now I'll create the same table again, but it will have the column actions. Okay, the table is now created, and this thing we can perform, but it is default as well. Okay, the table is created. Now we can remove this panel from here. Now what we need to do is we need to change in our trigger function. Okay, how trigger function should work. In the trigger function, if you see, in this is capturing what? This is capturing everything that we are going to perform earlier. Okay, but now we'll add some if and else things. So we will take this insert into action, but wait. So what we'll do, we'll first we'll add some since we are and one more thing we can also include. Let me go to the trigger definition. So in the trigger definition we can also include after delete or update or insert, like this we can also include. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to capture everything of a particular record, like even if it is after delete or update or insert, means even if it is the first time record insertion into the main table, it should also capture the same thing in the table. Okay, so we did that. Now let's go to our trigger function. So in the okay, so we'll write some conditions here, like for example, say we are looking for the insert sorry, for update things. So we can write like this: if all dot role is not equals to new dot role. Okay, so this will happen when we are updating a role. Okay, means a role column we are updating. So what should happen in that case? I'm writing end if immediately, so it's we should not miss anything here. So what we are going to capture in these things we are capturing, and also we'll capture like actions. We had added one column, and here we can mention that role value updated. Okay, fine. So this will capture whenever there is any changes in the role value. Okay, so similarly we can put these things for all the three columns. Course value updated. So these things were for update. Okay, now let me delete this thing. Okay, we need to drop, we don't need to drop because we can do create or replace this one. So let me select up to this and recreate. Okay, the function is altered now. If we go here and see our data, okay, there is nothing in the logs table, but and also we don't have anything here. Okay, we'll add the record here in the students table. Okay, we can write those three value, like we had one name is the this is the name and this is the course. Okay, now let me perform the insert statement. Okay, one record is inserted. Now let me check the logs table. Okay, we don't have any log captured here because this is insert statement, and for insert thing we don't have anything written till now here, because we know that old role and new role they'll be same in case of insert. So this is not this conditions are not satisfied, and hence the insert statement is not performed here. Okay, so now we'll update as it is we were performing. So now let's update the course. So along with the old value, it should capture that course value is updated. So let's perform and check if it works or not. Okay, as expected, it captured that course value updated. Fine. Now next thing, we'll also capture for name. say we are going to update it to do something like this, and say if it is getting captured or not. It should. Okay, name value updated because I'm updating name. Okay, let me show you one thing. It prints all the thing, but it mentions specifically that name value getting updated in this case. Also, we can also give one more column here over here, that along with name old, we can also give one more column, name new. Okay, this thing I'm leaving on unto you. You can experiment that, or else I will come with that in the next video. Okay, if you ask for that. Okay, so name value is updated. Now let's update the role value. Okay, students role, and we can set role to, suppose, say 2. Okay, now it should capture the same thing. Okay, role value also updated in this case. So now uh, our requirement is to check for insert and delete as well. For the sake of the length of the video, I am stopping the video right here. I'll add the insert and delete thing in the next video. Also in the next video I'll add the other columns that I just suggested, that we can also include those things in our trigger function. So I'll also do that in the next video. So subscribe the channel and don't miss the update regarding the videos I'm posting over here, and do subscribe my channel to support me, that I'm bringing the quality contents for you. So let's see in the next video. Hopefully we'll meet again very soon, and we'll see some more about these things, trigger functions and other things. Also you can check out from the video links that I have provided well along with this video. So let's meet in the next video with extended version of this trigger function works that we are trying to do. So let's meet soon. Take care. Bye bye.